Welcome back to Accessible Gourmet. Today we're making Lahmajoun. For the dough, we need 1 cup of lukewarm water, and to this we're going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar and 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. Mix this together, set it aside, and let it bloom. Then, in the bowl of your stand mixer, add 3 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. Set this on low and let it mix together. Then slowly drizzle in our yeast mixture. We're going to place this in an oiled bowl, cover, and set aside to let rest for 2 hours. Now let's work on the filling. We need 1 1/2 bell peppers. I'm just using a yellow and a green because that's what I have. And we just want to chop these into rough chunks. We don't need them to be finely minced because they're going into the bowl of a food processor. We also need 2 cloves of garlic, and 1 yellow onion. Add all of your vegetables to the bowl of a food processor, and to this we're going to add normally 1 bunch of parsley, which I did not have, so I'm adding 3 tablespoons of thyme instead, as well as 1 15-ounce can of drained chopped tomatoes. We just want to pulse this until everything breaks down. We don't want it to be completely smooth. We do want a couple of chunks still left in the mixture, and also don't forget to scrape down your sides. In a separate bowl, we have 1 pound of ground lamb or beef. I'm using lamb. To this, we're going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, 2 tablespoons of flour, and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Add in our strained chopped vegetables, and we're going to mix this until everything is well incorporated. Now that our dough is rested, we're going to turn it out on a workbench and separate it into 12 equal pieces. We're going to take one piece and roll it out to an approximately 7-inch roundish disc. This doesn't have to be perfectly round. Most of the Lahmajoun I've seen have some character to them, so they don't have to be perfectly round discs. We need to preheat our oven to 450 and set one rack in the middle of the oven and one rack on the bottom of the oven. We're going to place our dough discs on a parchment lined baking sheet, add 1/4 cup of the filling to each of our dough discs, and we want to press this out to almost the edge of our dough. So I cook these kind of in an assembly line. When the first batch is on the lower rack cooking for 6 minutes, I prep the second baking sheet full of Lahmajoun, and when I go to switch the ones that are in the oven to the top rack, I pop in the next batch into the bottom rack, and then just keep doing this until all of your Lahmajoun are cooked. After the 12 minutes of cooking are up, we're gonna remove these and place them on a baking rack just to cool. And there it is. My little Armenian pizzas are Lahmajoun. It's something I grew up eating, that my nana used to make, and my mother in return. I serve these with chopped up onion and hot sauce and a squeeze of lemon as garnish, as well as parsley that I currently do not have in my house. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, click the like button. If you loved it, subscribe and click the little notification bell because I put out new videos every week. Thanks again, and until next time, happy cooking.